All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here with you today. We're here to talk about money magic, of course, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you this opportunity because the things that I'll share with you today will help you awaken within you the possibilities and the opportunities to really see that big shift right away that you're looking for in your money, especially if you're a coach or a healer or those types, a consultant, etc. All those type of people I've helped make more money quickly when I've utilized money magic because so one of the things that brought me to offer this webinar and what I offer beyond the webinar is I went through all the cases of people I've helped really rapidly with money, and I found that there were some commonalities, and there was things that I was the way the people came in, the way I worked with them, and that made a difference in getting rapid results versus it not happening in some cases, or it taking a really long time for them to get those breakthroughs. So today I'm going to be doing a presentation on it. I don't know that it'll last that long. I'm a little surprised we don't have more people here, but hey, it happens. I'm not sure what happened, but we'll go ahead and get started, and the rest of the people will get the replay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I do have a actual webinar to share with you here. Hopefully it's going to work out well today. I haven't done this very often, so this is kind of new territory for me, doing these webinars off of Zoom. But let's go ahead, let's hit from the beginning. Let's see what happens here. Okay. All right. So, all right. So yeah, we're here again. Money magic, it came to me as tuning into this is, many of you have followed me. I'm a channel. I'm tuning in, and I had a hard time really seeing money magic for myself in the beginning. I was like everybody else. I wanted to be the nice guy. I just wanted to help people. I had a big heart, and that was my focus, is just how can I help? Let me help you as much as I can for free, and then maybe you'll hire me. And of course, if you give a lot of value for free, and then you're kind of like, well, do you want to hire me? No one wants to hire you, So I went through all those things, and I'm just I've always been that person who is kind of like that introverted sort of person, and then I've been hesitant and shy to really move things forward. And then once, what happened for me is I had to really just claim, really being who I really was, and be able to assert myself and tell people that I could really help them and it was worth investing in. So, but I had to decide. At some point, you have to decide anything in your life. You have to make a decision. At some level, there's a decision, and then within the decision, the answers come, right? So they may not come right away if you don't have the help, quite frankly, or if you don't have more support, or if you're not ready for it for whatever reasons. But like if you decide, eventually you keep deciding the direction that you want to go, things are going to happen. And I've seen that throughout my life. As a kid, I was depressed, totally anxiety ridden, and I decided I was going to start feeling better. So I started doing things, working out or whatever I did every day. I would say, how can I feel just a little bit better, And then I would start to feel better. But so it always starts with a decision, whether the shift is little or big, right? So I went from a shy, depressed, kid, anxiety ridden, suicidal ideas and stuff, to really for the bulk of my years, recently, I can't say I haven't had my challenges over the last 10 years or whatever, but many of those years I've experienced incredible impact, multi six-figure business for multiple number of years, working 30 hours probably a week or something like that, and just everything just really flowing, for many of those years. And then you hit growth, and then new things happen, and it gets more challenging. But within that, you keep finding more of your magic. So when I first started off, I made a decision that I wanted to help people online. I wanted to be a coach and be a healer and all that. But like I said, giving everything away, I couldn't make any money. And then finally, it's like I just decided that enough was enough because I had gone a six-figure credit card debt. I couldn't put food on the table. We had to get supported by others. And then finally, it's just like, that's it. I need to get clients. And it's like, rah. And then, that nice guy thing, which is only part of my frequency, just being like kind of almost a fake nice guy because it's like not all of who I am. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, the assertive person came in and then started really telling people. I remember telling one person, I'm not like this now, but I don't think. But I got to the enrollment part of talking with them and the opportunity, and I just said, "That's it." She's told me. She says, "Are you sure I should work with you?" I said, "Yes." Now get out your credit card. We're doing this thing. Let's go. And she did. She thanked me for taking a stand for her, and I know she really appreciated the work we did together. I don't remember all the results she got, to be honest. It was over about 10 years ago or more, over 10 years ago. So, but I just remember like I really just had to go, I had to shift my energy. And every time you're looking to really see a shift in your life, you have to shift something. And when it comes to money, it's the same thing. I did it with my wife. It's like finding my wife. It's like I was online dating, and just one day it was just like, that's it. Either I'm gonna find her or I'm walking away, from looking online for my partner, And then that was the day I found her, because I just put a demand on the universe. I just decided. I said, this is happening, and then it happened. So I give many, many other examples where we have to decide in order to see the breakthroughs that we want, and then it'll happen. And sometimes you think you decided, but you didn't really decide. And maybe you didn't decide in the right direction. Maybe you didn't line up with who you really are. That's why I say decide, own your value, rocket being fully used. So all those things need to come together for the money magic to happen. In just my own experience and my own opinion. Okay, that's what we need to be doing. And I see so many people that don't really decide, that aren't owning the value, and they're not being fully themselves. And I'll talk more and more about those things as we go on. So let me go ahead and move this forward. So one of the things we want to do is like look at what are the lies that we tell ourselves. So if you've been struggling doing your purpose and trying to make money, whether you're a coach, a healer, a consultant, which is the most common ones, or if you're just wanting to bring some revolutionary change to a certain industry or whatever it may be. I've worked with all different kind of people. You have to look at, well, what lies are you telling yourself? Because if things aren't working, you're telling yourself stories that are keeping you stuck where you are. So what are these lies? I put down some of the common ones, right? So one is that I feel unworthy. I feel I'm not enough of something to shine fully. In other words, you see they always say the beautiful people that are out there shining, the popular kids, me and some of my colleagues laugh about it sometimes that, there's this idea like there's these popular kids, they get to shine, they get all the money and all the cash and they get to do the big impact. But, if you're not a cool kid, maybe you're not going to make it. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's not true. When you're really being you, you're as beautiful as anything, and you can absolutely shine. And then the other lies are like I'm not lovable, all those sort of things go into that. I'm wounded, and I have to clear my blocks, right? And I've helped people to clear the blocks, I'll talk about that later. But I help people to clear their blocks in terms of feeling unworthy, unlovable, and all that stuff. That's fine if that's how we're feeling. Maybe there's something there to work on. But basically, it's not as complicated as we make it, right? I always say you can go to a Freudian therapist and be working for decades on your stuff and feel like you're just scratching the surface, or you can have fun with that. But as an infinite being, we can take whatever route we want, right? But as an infinite being, if you want to experience moving through that, like a huge amount of that really, really quick, you could. But you just have to what? Decide you're ready. Decide that you're ready. I mean, when I was wondering if I was good enough to serve people and help people, part of me, when I first started doing the coaching and healing and everything online. And that was even after I'd already been helping people in private practice, because my background is as a therapist and hypnotherapist and all that. I'd been doing all that, help people there, but I still had, I still wonder, you think by then I should know, but I still wondered if I was worthy enough to lead my mission in doing the work that I wanted to do. And so we run into this idea that maybe I'm not ready yet, maybe I'll be ready later and all this stuff. But the truth is that no one else can really ultimately anoint us, right? They can help us anoint ourselves. It's like one of the things that helped me is realizing there wasn't going to be that anthropomorphic God in the sky, so to speak, or if you do believe in the God in the sky, that's okay. But whatever, that God in the sky wasn't going to come down and tell me, you're ready now, oh, hey, we've decided you're ready, go, often when we tune into our guidance, we're waiting to hear that we're worthy, we're ready, it's time to rock. And sometimes we hear it and sometimes we don't, but we keep thinking like something is going to show to us we're worthy. And what the best way to become worthy is just to decide you're worthy. And if you need some help in making that decision, that's where someone like myself comes into play. I can help you to realize that that's all a bunch of stories, and that you already feel worthy deep down inside somewhere. You totally feel worthy, and that you're ready to shine. You're ready to shine fully and go to your next level. Next one, I'll just cover these other ones as examples. I am abandoning or leaving people behind by deciding to make more money. I was just doing a half VIP day with somebody the other day. She's in the process of doing what I'm going to invite you into. And she just, but it was really easily handled. But she says, yeah, I hear the story that maybe I'm going to leave people behind, but I realize with what we're reviewing here that that's not true at all. And we didn't have to have the big process around it. We have a big conversation. She could just see it's a lie. It's not true. And because the energy that we're in, that I support, I guess, I'm bringing a container. I'm just really just no nonsense. Let's get the results. Let's line up. Let's see what the truth is. Let's just see what wants to happen that can happen now, because your services are worth a lot. And, you're probably already helping people in a big way. It's a matter of owning that value and then, realizing by up-leveling, you'll be able to help everybody more. You'll be able to help more people in a bigger way. And that, you don't have to be the $50 or $100 or $200 an hour, healer or whatever it is right now, or coach, that you don't have to worry about leaving people behind, because you can always offer them other things, products or other services like groups. There's other ways they could get helped by you. And honestly, they'll probably get as much or more help from you on those levels as they get in one-to-one in some ways, because if they're not really progressing the way that you'd like them to, in some cases, like, yeah, they get results, but I know, my optimal tribe would get much better results. They'll probably get similar results in a group. That's been my experience. Maybe even better results in some cases. Yeah, they won't get the TLC at the same level, but often when you get down to it, the bottom line, they'll probably get similar results, because a lot of it has to do with someone's own commitment to a process. Another one, these are just some of the common ones. It's going to be really hard to do well, thriving, doing my purpose in a big way, right? We think like, wow, you're going to have to work really hard. The personal development industry for years just drilled in our head and continues to do so quite a bit still, but it was even more in the past. You have to work hard, and then you even need to work harder, and then I've seen a number of videos where you got people like The Rock and all these other people saying, I'm the hardest working guy in the room, and that's how you succeed, and like all this stuff. And that's fine if that's what you're into, if that's your groove, if that's what you want. But it makes it sound like it is hard. Not only do you have to work hard, and this idea you have to be working a lot, but then it's hard work, right? It's just a bunch of nonsense. I know people, more than one, okay, multiple people personally that are making, millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars or more, doing it, working, just, maybe 30 hours a week, 20 hours a week. They're not working all these hours, and they're the real deal. They're real integrist people. They're not just, there's so many people online telling lots of lies, and they're integrist people that I know that are making way more money. And these are the people I'm studying and getting mentorship from, because it's not so hard. It's the drama, the ego that says it's so hard. It's this big thing. And some of that really holds us back, when we could just be helping more people with what we're here to do. So I'm just telling the truth, nothing fancy here. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. So some of the things, for you to consider here is, what's your mind space like? Do you keep affirming things like, I'm stuck, I'm not ready? I mean, I know that's where I've gone to at times, especially in the past, way in the past, that I was really in that mind space when I was first trying to, make any real money doing my work in the world as a coach and a healer and all that. So, but eventually, I came to that realization, like I said earlier, I'll be ready when I say I'm ready. Like, what you got to decide, Daniel. You got to decide you're ready and get over it and move on. And then it seems like the sense of the ability to find clients, the ability for people to say yes and have the money to invest in what you offer. Wow, magically, all of a sudden it starts happening. How'd that happen, right? No, people are poor right now. They can't afford my services. Oh, I just attract the wrong people and they don't have the money. And yeah, no, when your energy, when you've decided, you start attracting the right people. They do. They really do come out of the woodwork. I remember going on and on trying to sell people into things that are like $500 or $1,000, they wanted references even. I mean, like, it was crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it was because of my frequency. There should be no need for any big references for a $500 offer. I mean, it's ridiculous, but that's where my energy was. I was trying to over explain, make it too complicated, rather than just being like, just being in the energy where we let it be easy. That's why I say there is an easy, fun, joyful path. It's not BS. It's the real deal, where you can shift, really quickly, but you just have to decide to let it be that way. It's really that easy, but nobody believes it. So that's why most people just will never do it. But if you have someone here to remind you how easy it is and help you to flesh out, the right offer, get you in the right energy so it is easy, then it can be easy. So you decide to shift into the energy of you are ready now, and then you watch the magic happen. And it does. It always does. When you really make that decision, it's going to happen. And if you get you get the right support, you can just go farther. Maybe you can do some of it on your own, right? See some shifts on your own. I just find, like, if you find the right person to support you, you can see bigger shifts faster. I know that been true for me. When you're looking to really up level with your impact, your money, and all that stuff. So you just have to make the decision. More around this, if you find yourself living in your head, right? This is what I see. People are living in their head. Then you will never be in the right energy to create the business you desire, that aligns with your sacred purpose, it should say. So you'll never have it, because you're constantly like, how's this working? It's basically your mind saying, I don't quite get it yet. Oh, wait a minute. I got it. I don't got it. Right. You think, then you get another idea and like, maybe that'll work. Oh, that didn't work. And so you just keep living in your head when you have this deep, even with your intuition. Sometimes I've gotten caught up in my career where I'm trying to figure it all out here in my intuition. Sometimes, to be honest, sometimes if you connect with your intuition, it could kind of work out. But the deeper intelligence is within your body, deeper down, a deeper intelligence. You want to get things where you're following the energy within your body, and you're that tuning fork from deep within, not, living in your head. If your head's trying to take over all the time, that's where, you know, I talk about meditate and make money. You need to let all that go. You need to just get into the energy that where the results already are. And what I do when I work with people is I tune into you to discover the energy that already lives inside you that would already succeed, would already be succeeding if you just tapped into that reservoir of energy with the specific offers, the specific strategies. And then the energy gets turned on, everything's aligned, and now you can just keep tuning into that. Even when your head doubts you, you still will feel that frequency inside you, and you just drop into your body and you follow that energy. But you have to just kind of discover where that energy is inside of you, and then you can follow it, and then it unfolds. You know, you got to take the steps, you got to take action. I do not work with people that are like, yeah, I have problems like taking action. No, I don't want to work with people that have problems, lots of problems taking actions. I want people that love taking actions. If anything, they've been successful taking actions and done good things in their life and been successful, but they find that the way they've been doing things for their coaching healing business, they're getting stuck, or they can't even get it going in the first place to the level that they want. And it's because it just feels weird, like this. It doesn't feel right. Something's not feeling right. Something's not connecting. So that's where, yeah, following that deeper intuition is how we will see that quantum shifts, where you focus your attention on what you truly desire. Now, we've heard that many times, right? But when we keep focusing on what you truly desire, and then you follow, and you can be patient enough, it's so funny. You know, when you slow down in your energy and you follow the intuitive impulse from deep down inside, it's got its own momentum. It's not a feeling like you're efforting anymore. It's just a flow. It's just a channel. You've all experienced it at some point in your life. And it just feels like it's happening. And as long as you just keep letting that energy flow through you, it just like, again, it's like magic. Like the results just start happening. It's just like, wow, people are working with me, and it's consistent. People are wanting me to come talk on their stages, you know, online or whatever, you know, whatever it is that you've been wanting. Things just start popping and working because you're focused in the right way and you're connected with what's wanting to happen. And then the next thing around I've been talking about is this offer. You know, you have to, what I see a lot of people that don't have consistent results in their business and aren't making the kind of money they want to, it's like they're a hodgepodge. You know, they're either charging too little. It's two things. Like either they do have something consistent and it's like, oh, well, it's not that much. I barely have any clients. Or it's like they do have consistent clients, but it's at such a low level, they're not thriving. So maybe it's three different ones. Or they get bigger sales and they have bigger, higher level clients. But it's like really sporadic. Like they'll have 1 month, they get 1 or 2 clients, and they go 3 months to no clients. It's really sporadic. So what you want to have, what I've always seen for myself, and what I see for others, is you have to have an offer that's consistent and a no-brainer yes on a high level, something that's a higher level offering, and that's your pathway to rocking your sacred purpose. You have to have something like that. Again, can there be an exception? You can find somebody who doesn't do that and succeeds? Absolutely. You know, I'm not here to teach dogma. I'm just telling you what I see by and large that works for people. So what I find works really well for people is you want to have no-brainer offers for people. Like, in other words, you just know it. What you have to offer is easily worth what you charge. So if you're charging, I don't know, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 or something far more, whatever it is you're charging, you all make your offer, you already know like it's worth that and way more, that you already can feel it inside yourself that this is working and this is a done deal already for that person. And when you convey that energy, people will start signing up like really fast because they can feel that frequency too. It's just, they can feel like, yeah, okay, yeah, you don't have to explain so much anymore. The energy is just turned on. They can feel it and they just want to work with you. So when you hear people say, well, I don't know, I don't have any problems signing up people, because they've got that energy turned on. It's got its own momentum. But when you're trying and you're not sure, and there's something not connected, there's something that feels like it's missing, and how you're approaching, your work, or what you offer, or there's just, you're not charging enough. Maybe you're resentful, or maybe you charge like, maybe I even charged like weights, like more than I was ready to be aligned with in the past, and then no one was signing up then either. There could be a multiple different issues where it's not working. It could be your tribe. It could be the people you're trying to offer it to. You're offering it to all the wrong people. No wonder nobody wants it, right? There was this wonderful quote I heard recently, and it was something about, don't make, I don't know, something like, don't make offers it's like, it's like, okay, the bottom line was like, don't throw pearls to the swine, the kind of thing. It sounds kind of crude, but it's true. You throw something to people that aren't, they're like, whatever, this doesn't mean anything. I'm not ready, and I can't afford it either, that we're wasting our time. But there's people that do want it and are a perfect fit for what you have to offer, but you have to make sure you're offering the right thing too. And so that's something that I work with people on, is making sure you have the right thing. Are you offering the right thing in the right package? Are you working with people in the right way too? In other words, do you have certain shadows or limiters that keep you from working with people at your highest level? Maybe you're not using enough of your deeper gifts. For me, I had to learn how to utilize my intuitive power, my healing power, and my intuitive business coaching power, and everything. Like, there's all these different powers we have. If you're suppressing some of that energy for whatever the reasons are, those are things that need to be just cleared up, and they can be cleared up really fast. Okay, so that's all part of it. So money magic, it can be easy, simple, and fun. That's the focus. When I work with people, it's all about, I'm talking a lot of words. I may have used too many already because it's meant to be easy, simple, and fun. It is so easy, simple, and fun. And actually doing these webinars almost makes me use too many words. It's like, honestly, it's so easy, simple, and fun. And I'm going to give you an invitation to meet with me. And that's where I can really start to specifically talk to each of you about how easy it can be for you. Because there is that opportunity for you. And I'll tell you who it's a good fit for as we go forward. But you got to decide, and then it's owning your value. When you're honest about what you want to charge, how much more would you charge, and what would you offer? So for some people, like my recent example is, person I just was working with, she was offering for 6 months, but she was charging for that typically, although she kept changing her prices, is what she's now going to offer for 3 months. And an energy she feels for it is just, she's just so on fire with it. And we just did hers yesterday. But like, she's so on fire with it, you just know it's going to sell. It's a no-brainer. And that's what I've seen for other people that work with me. They get connected. They're, people are more intuitively, connected already, do really well with me as well. They can feel it when something's right, and we get connected into that space, and that energy gets turned on, and then it just works. It just works. It's just, you're not even concerned about how you're going to reach the right people, because the energy gets turned on, and you just know it has its own intelligence, and it'll tell you what to do. It'll tell me what to tell you, what wants to happen, and you'll just know it's right, and that's how it works. So and then you want to think about, well, if I wasn't, a lot of times people are like wondering, like, well, I try to sell this at higher price, it didn't sell. Well, but what do you want? What offers do you want to make? If you just take all your stories off, if you could offer anything you wanted, what would you offer, and at what price point? And then just go with that. Like, sometimes we get caught up. I've heard a lot of people get caught up sometimes, like, oh, I just want to do groups, or I just want an automated program. And then after I talk with them, they start to realize they're just avoiding what they feel is more intimate, maybe a sense of more responsibility of doing one-to-one. And then they realize, no, I guess I'm meant to do one-to-one. When they're honest, they start, and they tune into their body deeply, they start to realize, like, what the real offer is supposed to be. So it's different for each person. Maybe you need to evolve into groups. Maybe you've done tons of one-on-one. Maybe you need to go to a higher level group. It all depends. Everybody's different. So it's a matter of what is your next pivot, your next shift. And then the work you do, what's really the value? What's the lifetime value to the client? A lot of times we think in terms of, well, what breakthroughs are they going to get while they work with me? And that's a poor way of measuring as a standalone measure, because you're making a permanent shift in a person's life typically through the work we're doing, right? They're never going to be the same. And they're some of the biggest blessings may come 2 or 3 years later even, or who knows when, right? So that stays with them, it gets in them, and we don't know when when it's going to sprout, when the fruits of that work is going to sprout. So I've seen that from my clients too. So I'll get breakthroughs while they work with me, and I'll say, I know these things are going to happen for you later. You're going to have this happen or that happen, and then you hear from them years later, oh yeah, those I'm like, I remember telling you those things that happened. And we're like, oh yeah, yes you did. So we're there, and then we're working. One of the things to think about when you're charging, remember, you're working, if you're empathic like I am, you're working with your clients, a lot, throughout your days, right? You're not just working with them when you're on the phone. You're working, it's an energy thing. You're probably working with them at other times when you're not on the phone with them. And that's all part of the way it works for us empaths. A lot of, almost everybody that, it connects with me is an empathic, sensitive person. So I'm assuming you are as well. And then most people that I talk to have worked with clients and, do good work or feel they do good work and, seen real results for the client. They always say like the work they do is priceless. So think about that. Like, you're putting a price on this, but the truth is your work likely is your best work is going to be priceless. So there's no amount that's, in a way, yeah, it could be too much in a way, but like, on a technical level, when you think of value, there's no price that would measure the level of impact, right? So it's worth so much. And then we just look at like, okay, what just feels right for me to be charging? Like, what feels good in your body? Like, really, when you're honest. And then, sometimes as me as a coach, I can shift your energy and your mindset just by being present with you, not by trying to talk you into anything, really. I don't usually say, I know this is right for you anymore. I used to. I'll let you figure it out for yourself, and then it sticks even better. It helps you even better because you chose it. You knew it for yourself. I don't need to over explain it. And then like, oh, that's true for me. I'm supposed to be charging $10,000 dollars for this program or whatever it is. So you discover what that is, and then we get that energy turned on, and we build the energy in a very easy way where it just becomes inevitable that it's happening. Okay, so that's that. And then the more on owning your value. So the money magic truth. Okay, so this is one money magic truth. When you are truly owning your value, your issues around money start to diminish or even disappear altogether without even directly addressing your money blocks, believe it or not. I've helped people with their money blocks, still do. Okay, we need to deal with, your concepts around money and all that stuff. But honestly, like, sometimes really we don't need to. All we need to do is have you own the value of what you offer. And it's amazing how a lot of those money blocks just resolve themselves by you owning your value. You don't, but I believe money is evil. Okay, we got the right offer. You can see the value in it. Okay, rock and roll. All right. And then it's like, okay, those thoughts don't seem to be affecting you anymore, so much. So they start to at least diminish at a minimum, if not start to totally disappear. This is why so many people can make so much money without ever seeing an energy healer, right? So energy healer may be helpful, may help, take it deeper, and I'm an energy healer. But I'm saying is, like, sometimes the coaching alone and just owning your value is all the clearing we need. Like, I didn't do any clearing on this half VIP day. I just did for the person I worked with yesterday. It was all intuitive coaching. And I've seen that for some of my other clients where I didn't do as much clearing as, I've done in the past. And I still end up making hundreds of thousands of dollars more in some cases. So depending on the client. So that's something I just really want to drive home. You don't need 1,000 more clearings to clear through your money stuff. Often what we need to do is just own our value. That's more important often than all that other stuff. Okay. And then the next thing is just some of the basic stuff that you need to hear again and again until some of you stop doing it, is stop giving it away. Stop giving your stuff away. I used to do intro sessions, and I've slipped into it at times in my career where I give so much during my intro session or my initial energy scan in my case, or whatever it is. I give so much away. It's like a complete service. It's like, okay, I already gave you so many answers. I answered all your questions. I did all this stuff, and I was even doing healing because just people being in my frequency, I'm a natural healer. So when people are just connecting with me, they're getting healing. And then by the time we're done, I'm like, well, how about working with me? Well, I feel pretty good right now, right? So where some of you don't even charge, like you keep helping people and you don't even charge them for it, right? So stop doing that and stop trying to save everyone. So they're kind of, similar things. Like, I'm going to try to save everybody from this problem. And you can't. You just can't. You just can't for the most part. You just really can't. But you can show up for those people that are willing to change, right? And for the right people, they'll find a way to invest in things. One of the things I wanted to share on this, the story I like to share about people saying they can't afford things and all that, and maybe you can relate to this. I like dark chocolate, okay? I don't currently eat much dark chocolate, very rarely lately, but maybe once a week or something. That's not that much for me. I used to eat it every day. But anyway, bottom line is I was really into dark chocolate in the past. And at one point I was like, oh, I'm kind of eating some higher quality chocolate, but I really want to take the highest level quality. I want, whatever it was at the time I was saying, I want organic, I want, fair trade that gives back to the earth. And I would, then I was looking at what it costs, and like, I don't know, let's say it was like $4 or something, and I'm used to paying $2 or something like that for a bar. I'm like, $4, oh my God. I'm here, I have a multi-six-figure business. I can't afford that. Like, literally, that was the thought. Like, I can't afford that, right? And how many places in your life is it extra $5 or something like that? You're like, I can't afford that. That's outrageous prices. And like, and the truth is you just don't really want it that much. It doesn't matter enough to you. It doesn't have to matter enough, but it just doesn't. And that's the same thing with your offers. For some people, they want it. They would swear they're really into it, but they don't really want it. They don't really want it. Otherwise, they would never tell you, oh, that's just too much money for me. They might say, I don't have the money right now, but they wouldn't be like, oh man, I don't know, I can't afford that. They'd say, man, I don't have the money right now, but I'd love to be able to do it. And as soon as I'm able to, I will. Or I'm going to find a way to do this right away. So, the right people do have the money. You don't have to try to save everybody and give everything away. The right people have the money. I don't have anybody coming to me saying, man, it's COVID times. I talk to people all the time. I don't have anybody talking that way to me. It's because of my frequency. So if your frequency is strong, you won't attract people that are saying those things. You won't attract those people anymore. So it's getting in the right frequency. Your energy is turned on, then the right people will show up, and you'll see a higher hit rate where people just are like, yeah, of course I want this, whatever it is, whatever the price is, and they want to do it, and either they can right away or they have to get their money together. So just know that. And then the next thing is, you must offer what is resonant to your highest potential and alignment right now for real money magic to happen. So you can't keep playing it small. You've got to bring your greatest thing forward and charge, I want to say, in most cases, the most possible for it that actually aligns for you. In other words, if we're like, no, I could be charging $25,000 for this, you're only ready for 8,000, then you're not ever going to, you're not going to sell that $25,000 package probably. So if you do, it'll be very sporadic. So you want to get something that's just like a no-brainer to you and really does align on all levels. And that's what I help with, is really getting you connected with that. And it could be something completely unexpected to you, like the work. Yeah, I keep talking about yesterday. I usually use more recent examples. The work I just did with this person, she didn't expect what came through to come through. Like, she could have spun her wheels, who knows how long on her own, trying to figure it out. But what I gave to her, like, I don't know if she ever would have gotten it, to be honest. So all the things that she got. So new things become available, new clarity about who you are, your brand, your tribe, all these things. I just, because I'm a channel, I can just channel it and know it for you. And then when I say it, you'll play with it a little bit maybe, but then you'll be like, I don't know, that does sound right, like, and it just comes in. Next thing is on owning your values, discover, again, what is that no-brainer offer? I can't overemphasize that. That will rock your customer client's world in the most powerful way, and then charge accordingly. And maybe what you do is you make it so no-brainer, maybe you put in extra effort and time into something too, like whatever gets people incredible results. Because if you're feeling like, what I'll be giving them is going to give them incredible results, that's the number one thing. Like, you have to get great results. And then you just need to charge, what you're ready for at the highest level. And then if at some point it doesn't feel resonant for you anymore down the line, you're like, man, it's worth more than that, I should be charging more. You can always increase. But we find that value right now that we can give, that'll be consistently sell, even if it's, you could see it being worth more later. But like, you build up your confidence, you get your mojo, you get the consistency, and then when you feel the time is right, you can always jump up the amount that you're charging for it. So but it's important that you get something that's consistent, that's constantly selling. So you're not worried about how you're going to pay your bills, or, whatever, that you're able to easily take care of everything. Start maybe paying down, if you've got debt, to pay off your debt, all that stuff. I was able to pay off all that debt. I had six-figure debt. I was able to pay all of that off. So people are like, how much farther can I go? I've been putting on credit cards, I've drained my savings or whatever. You go as far as you need to until, you don't have to go all the way, right? Because maybe you can get the right help faster. But I'm saying, like, you have to just be willing, like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to do this no matter what. That gets back into the decision part. And then you just see it through until it happens. And it always works. And it always takes, sometimes it takes longer than what people think. But what I'm offering you for the right people is a shortcut, so that you don't have to necessarily go to the dark night of the soul. All that isn't necessary. People say you have to go through a dark night of the soul. I don't believe that. I don't believe you have to always go into the dark night of the soul. You probably already experienced a lot of that. All right, you've already had your dark night of the soul. We can just get you the results now. Okay, so next thing I'm just going to touch on, is this rocket being you fully. So how can you succeed if you're not being yourself, right? So there's all these like shadow aspects too that we have that hold ourselves back. So for me, I was being the nice guy, right? So I was being this nice guy. I mentioned that earlier. And then eventually this advocate, what felt aggressive to me, but came through, and I'm like, this is happening. I talked to my potential, this is happening, let's go, and that was where I was at the time. That's the way the frequency came through. But once I let it come through, I started succeeding, and then I was able to help people. I was able to start making money and all that sort of thing. So what are the shadow aspects that maybe you're holding back on? Are you being, are you being so nice that you're, holding back your intensity to get more bottom line with people? Are you being so spiritual that you're not willing to look at the practical nature of your business? Those are all possible shadows. It's different for everybody sometimes, but those are some common ones. Are you like here? I said, are you being too timid when you're really bold and fierce? Like, have you been conditioned because maybe you experience being criticized or maybe even abused? Earlier in your life, you feel traumatized. How can I be bold and fierce when, I've been abused, for showing up in a big way earlier in my life, or told it was wrong. So those are shadow things. They go in the shadow bag. Then we get passive aggressive, or we do all that weird stuff, and we're just trying to cope. We're just trying to get by in life and trying to get love and attention, but it's not helping us in our business for sure. Are you holding back on any of your deeper power and gifts? So are you holding back on it? So again, are you have all this connection with angels and ability to tune into people and do this really rockin' multi-dimensional healing work with people, or who knows what gifts you have that maybe you're holding back on? Or it could be as simple as, like, sometimes I've held back on my intuitive business coaching potency. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't know, I'm spiritual, I'm a channel and a spiritual teacher. Well, yeah, I am, but then I'm not owning my gifts as an intuitive business coach if I just try to peg myself one way or another, right? So are there gifts you're holding back on that are keeping you from really being all of yourself, and therefore offering to the world, some of your greatest gifts that could make a really big difference for people, that you can leverage to help people, that people would very happily, invest in. Does your no-brainer offer showcase your ability to leverage your gifts and all of you in the best way possible? Just something to ask yourself. Like I do, I work with people through a VIP day, a half VIP day right now. That's one of the ways. That's not the only way, but some of my great work is happening through that, because it doesn't have to be so complicated. It doesn't have to take so long. I do work with you beyond just that, in a way, but I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure you get the result, but I don't necessarily need to do a 6-month coaching program to help you to, double, triple, or quadruple, your income or more. We can do that quickly. It doesn't have to take so long. So for me, like you have to take a look at that. A mistake I made in the past was trying to help people with too many things, right? So they make progress on most all those things and maybe hit some really big breakthroughs in certain areas, but then we never completely solved maybe their thing they wanted the most, so we have to look at, are we leveraging our gifts? Are we focusing on solving a specific issue strongly enough, in order to, are we working the way that works for us best, is the bottom line. I'm rocket fuel for the right people. And so for me, owning that gift and working with the right people and the right tribe, getting all that connected is what's important. So what's your truest brand for your business? Is it what you're using right now? In other words, how do people associate with you? For me, it's always been a mix of like a yang energy and a yin energy, right? So that if I neglect one, like, I'm in trouble. That's why, even though my website says your sacred purpose, I talk about rock your sacred purpose. I talk about spiritual rock star, right? So those brands represent my aspect of my being. So what's your truest brand? So those are things that we dive into. What is the best way for you to shine that aligns with your soul? In other words, what is the best way for you to approach your marketing, for example? How should you be sharing? Should you be doing talks? Should you be blogging? Should you be doing videos on Facebook? Whatever. So we find, like, what's the best way for you? There's people that say their system works, it's perfect, it's proven, but then you use their system and it doesn't work for you, but it worked for other people. Why is that? It's because maybe it doesn't align for you, right? The next thing is, are you needing help with knowing how to market the real you? You don't even know who you are, maybe. You need to excavate a little bit of that, and then knowing how to market that in the right places. Sometimes there's a shift from maybe marketing on Facebook to going to a place like LinkedIn, or things like that, like just these micro shifts. Maybe it's the way you're doing your marketing copy. You think it's you're supposed to do it this way, when in reality that doesn't fit the real you, and you ought to be, being more vulnerable versus but more mechanical in your marketing and maybe in your sales. So how can you be you, and how can you let it work for you? You just need to know who you are and then integrate the strategy with it. Do you really know your exact right tribe and your ideal client for you? That's huge. That can make all the difference right there. You keep trying to sell to the wrong people, it's never going to work. If you keep settling for less than ideal, then it's not, you're then you're not going to have the results you want in your business. So you don't want to ever settle for less. You want to have that which you're really wanting. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make, so I just wanted to share these truths and wisdom, hoping that and knowing that this is going to awaken something in you and be a support to you. The bottom line is, if you really want to see the breakthroughs, you can utilize the things I share to help yourself support that. But I also want to offer for you to meet with me, because this is where I can actually work with you on all these things. So do you already have clients that love your work and have paid for it? Do you have paid clients? Do you have them now, or have you had them in the past? Are you serious about a money magic breakthrough in your business? Or are you just thinking about it like, well, I'd like it, but you're not really serious about it? So are you serious about it? Are you open to changing anything that aligns with your highest to get the results? So I tell people, if they work with me, you have to be willing to change anything. You have to be. We all have to be that way. I have to be willing to change this webinar in the future if I thought it needed to be changed. Maybe not even to do webinars. I have to be willing for myself to be consider anything, to change anything at any time. So you can't. If you're pegged in with what you're doing, you're not willing to change, then meeting with me may not be nearly as fruitful. Okay. So bottom line, I promise to try to get to the bottom line faster rather than later, is that if the answer is yes, that these things are true and you want to see a big change, then you're being offered the opportunity to meet with me. And I'm going to share with you a link in the chat box for you to do that, okay? So that if you want to experience these changes, that you can go ahead and apply to meet with me. And this applies to those that aren't working with me already. This isn't available for people that are already working with me. This is for you to explore working with me, and for me to tune into you and see what I see for you. Hear where you are in your business, where you want to go, and for me to see energetically in your energy, to see what is going on that maybe is blocking that, and what shifts and changes are needing to happen for things to be different for you. So I'm going to put that into the chat box here, if I can figure out where it's at on this screen. Like I said, this is kind of new for me. Let's see if I can find, chat, there it is. Okay, so there we go. So that's for the consultation. Okay, I'll put it here. All right, and you should get an email on that as well, but there you have it right now. And I only have about 5, openings available over the next couple of weeks, if I even have that. So I've just put approximately 5 openings. So I only have so many available at once. The other thing is, I only meet with people after you put in the application. So you do have to apply for this. And I did give you that application in the chat box. And if you qualify, based on my intuition, if I feel there's something there I can help you with, then we'll meet. If not, then we wouldn't. So if you're feeling the energy to connect with me further and to get the consultation, chances are I'm going to feel that too, and then we would meet. I wanted to share with you some of the things that have happened for other people, just so you're aware of that. So Kelly Sparta, as an example. So she, on her first consultation, she came in, she had been in spirituality and been doing shamanic work forever, I think, but she just never really took off. So she said she tried everything, healings, visioning, coaching, journaling, nothing worked, just inched along. Then in 10 minutes, she felt like it all changed. Like, and that's kind of the gravitas I bring. It's not, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just an energy that I'm in with you, that we're in a connected energy, and things start to shift when we come in with the intention that it's time for things to change. So for her anyway, she felt in 10 minutes things were starting to change. And then we worked together, and then yes, she felt her money blocks melted away with what we did. She increased her income by $5,000 the first month, and she's gone on from there. So that's Kelly, and then we have Lisa Winston. Now, Lisa came to me with a number. She had really like very, very traumatic situations going on. Very traumatic situations going on in her life that I won't get into, but involved, you know, very heavy energy, okay? Dealing with multiple aspects of her life. But through the work that I did with her, through the clearings and everything, she got very, very dramatic shifts in her energy. So for her, I did do energy clearing, and that made a big difference on top of, I'm sure, coaching that I did with her. It's been this we did worked a while ago. And then she went from zero income cash flow opportunity, making her first few $100s, which, okay, that wasn't too much, but it was an increase. And she went to a few thousand. Lisa Winston now partners, because she's a life partner, I will say that, with Joe Vitale, and she partners together with Joe Vitale. You probably know him, and she's at that level now. She works with she's rocketed on the stage of Joe Vitale. Okay, so so that's what happened for Lisa. Another one of my clients here worked with me. She got the energy scan. We started to identify what needed to change. Her clients were getting great results, but she wasn't owning her gifts fully and her value. So I helped her with that. Bottom line, fast forward, she went on to make more money than ever, and her clients were making more shifts. She's grateful for allowing herself to invest in, grateful for allowing them to invest in their transformations, because she had raised her rates and she still got more clients and able to serve them at a higher level. And that's what I'm talking about. I want to help you serve people even more than you do already, even if you get great results, and to be able to raise your rates. Likely almost 100% is going to be part of the formula, and to still be able to get not less clients but more clients. So that's what happened for Susan. Let's see, and Tarek. Okay, so Tarek Bibi is one of the clients I've worked with that people have heard of maybe the most. And so he worked with me. He did do energy scan training with me. However, I feel a lot of his transformation came through my frequency and the coaching that I did with him. He went from being on welfare, and worse, by the way, there's more to the story, and he probably tells that story, but I'm not going to tell it, to averaging $10,000 a month, having $10,000 months within 10 months. And he was doing, so he actually did better than that, quicker than that. But yeah, he started getting it consistent by that time. Also, in a year and a half, I was able to take things further by earning double, by working half the time. Thank you. So the bottom line is, when we're focused squarely on you making more money, if that's the biggest focus, that is the focus. And we're not focused on, like all the other things we could focus on just, honing your gifts as a primary, or focused on how you having a greater life, or focused on just squarely on your awakening and your enlightenment process and your ascension. But we're focused on the money and knowing that all those other things are going to flow much better with solving the money thing first, then we can see rapid results. That's what I found. I went back, I was like, what was it? What were the keys that, like, how I've been able to help like people like this and many more to see big rapid shifts? I've talked to people multiple times where I talk to them for 5 or 10 minutes even, and they just makes a big shift in their energy and their, or even one consult. I remember I did one consult with somebody. I told them, you need to up level, you need to charge more. A year later, I heard he'd done like 30 VIP days at 25K. I mean, like, did I create that? I don't know. I mean, I do feel that it was a factor. Like, he went out and I want to say kicked butt after I called him out on what he was doing. And so big shifts can happen fast. Sometimes people, even in a consult, they're just like they just, something turns on. They're just like, I got it. It just came into me, and sometimes people, more times than not, people work with me, and they can get the changes really quickly. So even within 45 days or less, you can go on to even to double, triple, or quadruple, or even 12x your amount you're making. And the reason why is because if you only made, let's say you made $20,000 last year, I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying it's possible. You could go from $20,000, you start making $20,000 or more a month, like rapidly, like maybe even within 45 days. It's possible. It's doable. It could happen. It could happen for you. And I do know, that I've been able to help people go from even virtually zero to $5,000 and $10,000 a month and more right in the first month. And so, so that's what I know I can do for you. And the reason is because I've awoken, I've grown too. So it's even better than it used to be, because I see how easy, simple it is. It's got to be easy, simple, and fun. Because what my clients are so excited. They're just, from the minute they know they're meant to work with me, they get so excited, and it doesn't stop. They just get so excited. The energy's turned on. We're focused on just the solution, and therefore they realize their solution, and it starts happening for them. Now, if you're not that kind of person, if you want to roll in the mud, and you're not ready for just focusing on the solution, get out of your stories and just focusing on letting it happen, then it's it's not going to be a good fit for you. But for the people that are willing like that, come on, I need to I want to see this happen. It's going to happen. So if you're the right fit, and we'll determine that. So if you feel called to apply, then you have the link for that. And I mean, I guess at this point I can spend some time doing a little bit of Q&A with you. And we can do more, of course, if you meet with me. So if there is anybody here, I see a lot of you are not on the camera, which is fine. But if you want, I think you can hit, there's a hand raised sort of thing, or I don't know if it's clapping hands or a hand raised. I haven't figured that part out. But if you wanted to raise your hand or ask me something, hey, I'm giving you a chance right now. Otherwise, I'm going to start wrapping things up soon. Okay. You also can, before we leave, if you want to put something in the chat, I haven't seen anything come through. That's another way you could communicate with me. So with all that being said, I mean, it's a very intuitive thing, people feeling the energy to want to work with me and take it to the next step. If you're feeling that energy, then you should apply, okay? And then we just kind of see where things want to go from there. During the consultation, I'm going to tune into your chakras and your energy around money and your purpose, and I'll tune into your business and give you guidance on what I think is the reason why maybe you're struggling in your business. And then I'll offer you a possible solution, either to take up on your own or with someone else or with me, whatever is going to serve the highest, and take it from there. So, okay, so that's basically what I have to share, everybody. And if you want to take advantage of that, you've got the link. We'll send out a replay as well with the link. And let me just tune in, see if I got any channeled messages or channel prayer for you before we wrap up. Okay, I'm hearing a channeled message. Hold on. I just hear okay, the clearest thing I'm hearing is be bold. Take charge. Know that the infinite power within you is ready for you to manifest everything. Archangel Metatron. I am that power you can connect with, that frequency that firmly places you into the frequency of all things being possible. Call upon me, all the legions of angels and guides, and all great opportunities can come into you through my frequency. Daniel's connected with this. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, I've got Mother Mary energy. Be at peace. Know you are loved. You are well. Lay your weary head to rest. Know that the solutions are so simple. They are so easy. Within your surrender comes all the answers. Surrender deeply to your heart, to your deeper knowing. You are whole, you are well, you are the love that you know that you already are. Thank you. Master Jesus, come fly with me. The kingdom of eternity lies within your heart. Know that there's nothing but utter bliss and joy and fulfillment within the sweet splendor of this heart space. Surrender to it. It gives you what you need. You innocent child of God. You are loved beyond all conditions. I am here for you. Call upon me and we can walk together, bringing greater love, healing, awakening for all. Be centered in your heart during these turbulent times. Know that you're well. Thank you. Okay, I'm guided to do a quick channel prayer. So take a nice deep breath. In through your nose, up through your crown chakra, up through your higher self, up to love, light source energy, up into the all in all. And as you exhale through your mouth, let this energy come back down through your higher self, down through your crown chakra, down through all your chakras, through your body, through your org field, down through your feet, down through your root chakra, down to the core of the earth. As I speak these words in the I am, for everyone to listen to my voice, as I recognize God, love, light source, spirit is all there is. I'm grateful that life is the love, the light, the laughter, the joyful celebration, the fulfillment of infinite abundance and power, and the glorious source God moving through me and through all of life, experiencing its empowerment through me when I let it be so. I know the deep waters of source flow through me. That is, allow myself this sweet surrender. I know that I'm deepening into the deeper power within myself to make the bigger difference that I want to make in the world, that I'm willing to be bold, I'm willing to be fearless, I'm willing to show up in creative, innovative ways, in the most powerful ways that will make that bigger difference. And I'm grateful to make a bigger difference so I can feel the power of source moving through me, doing its great work through me as the channel I am for the guides, the light team that's here, for all the gifts and everything I bring forth. I know it's being channeled and happening through me. I'm willing to love myself, to appreciate exactly who I am, to treasure the power of what wants to unfold through me. And I'm connected in my heart with the eternal heart, and I'm grateful to play together with my brothers and sisters around the planet. And we're coming together in the right ways, at the right time, in the right spaces. That just the right people are coming to me that I'm meant to be helping the most. And that I'm so grateful to know that as I deepen in serving those that are the right alignment, my soul tribe, the deep soul tribe I'm here to serve, I'm grateful to do so. Letting go of that which would distract me, the distractions. No longer I give myself to the cycles of the old stories and old news, the ongoing news and the seductive news of the day. Instead, I'm allowing myself to hear the power of the infinite flowing through me that intuitively knows just exactly what wants to unfold in my life, letting it happen and knowing that I'm serving the highest by tuning in, letting go and letting God fully, totally, no nonsense, and know that I'm absolutely experiencing those bottom line, joyful, amazing results that I'm wanting to experience in my business. And I'm ready to experience that, yes, that money magic in my life. I'm ready to let it be deep and fulfilling and total, and know that I'm willing to feel the power and the joy in it all and let it unfold into my life for the highest good for me, for all, in the most beautiful, easy, and joyful and simple way. So I let it be fun, easy, and playful, and letting it be so, knowing the deep power within me is resonating and flowing with this, and letting it unfold, and all the answers are flowing to and through me, and it's already happening. Knowing that it's already happening, the great results. So as I let it be so, let it be done. Thank you, God, and so it is. Okay, everybody. All right. Well, if your eyes are closed, feel free to open them at your own pace. Okay. All right. Well, apply to meet with me again if you want to do that, if you're ready for that breakthrough, their money magic. And I look forward to reviewing it and meeting with those of you that are feeling like a good fit. And grateful for those of you that took the time and were bold and courageous to come on this Zoom. And I purposely did it through Zoom because I know not everybody's willing to come on a Zoom. So congratulations for coming here. And so I'm so grateful for all of you, and just much love to you, and looking forward to connecting with you further. Okay, much love to you all, and goodbye for now.